mentally preparing to suffer? Like for an event?
I think you gotta be a little broken inside. You gotta like to suffer. I don't know, like the suffering is never the hard part, but so remember all the other sufferings you've done, you know, everything's relative. And then I would say, yeah, you suffer more in training. You know, what's the saying my coach always says, suffer in the dojo, laugh on the battlefield, something like that. So you suffer in training and then you laugh in the race. That's the idea.
Standing versus sitting, how important is it to teach yourself how to stand on the bike?
I think everyone's a little different with that. I like to stand when the climb is steep. Is sort of when I feel like standing makes sense. It also just like you use your muscles a little differently. You emphasize slightly different muscles. So it's kind of something that, you know, at minute 20 in this climb, I'd stand up just to sort of relieve the crotch pressure and move things around. And
just say it. What are testicles?
And then you sit back down, you can kind of grind away. So it's sort of like it's a break from this kind of muscle to using this kind of muscle, and you go back into it. But generally, like, I save that for the real steep parts. You kind of sprint and then you get back into the rhythm and the time trial position.
Number one tip to having, I guess, a long and fruitful cycling career?
I think I've seen a lot of juniors try to just like do too much too soon, and think like, oh, I have to do this workout, I have to do this race. I can't like and this goes for all ages. Like be your age, be a kid, be a teenager, and then when you're 22, be a 22-year-old. I remember like thinking as a pro at like 25, where you're making sacrifices, you know, at races, like you don't eat gluten, you don't drink, and then I get to the world tour and they're passing around a glass of red wine at dinner, because it's just, you just got to live your life, and ultimately like that bears fruit for down the line for longevity if you have that balance and you maintain it the whole time.
What's your tip for someone who gets into the game really late, like 45, and they just found cycling?
I mean, I think that's the best, because like if you get into it that late, there's no pressure. You're not trying to be a pro, I hope. And I think we should all sort of take that approach of we're all starting at 45, and I'm just going to see what the best I can do is. I think you should start there from 45 down to 15, down to you and me today.
What's the right leanness?
Get it, like it's probably different for everybody. Get like body fat calories. You can get them for $12. Like 5% is kind of the lowest anybody should get, I think. And you can do the little 7-point test on yourself once a week if you want to get real weird about it. But it's better to be weird about it than to like get yourself too skinny and not know. I would always. I hated this, but every time I lost weight, I get the skinnier I got, the faster I would get, except then I would get sick. There was no point for me where like getting too skinny I lost power, but I'd win a race, and then if I was too skinny I would get sick right afterward. So that's I figured it out that way. I imagine everybody has their line, but don't go under 5%. That's never gonna work. And for women, what is it, like 11 or 12? Ask a doctor. Don't ask me. And don't. And like everyone, don't eating disorder yourself. It's so not worth it. That stuff lasts forever.
And then crumple or fold. What's the pro tip?
We're talking about toilet paper, just so you guys understand. I'm a ball person.
Testicles.
There's people who have these systems. I want someone to here's a YouTube video for you, buddy. Is experiment with which saves the most paper, which saves the most water. Yeah, I think we need to sort of there is a right answer to that. I'm a crumpler. I've always, no one ever, who teaches a kid how to fold it? I don't know. I've only ever done it one way. But there has to be a right way, and I'm open to changing my methods.